Hey guys, just a vid on the Condemn build for the Crusader, so something a little bit different to the Steed Charge vid that I put up before. With this build, I think it's definitely viable in a group build. Solo, if you want to do greater rifts, you're not really going to go any further than, greater rift, level 35, 36. You'll start struggling to hit the 40, even with like probably insane, gear. It gets quite hard with this particular one, but in a group it's fantastic. Doing T6, it's very fast, quick, and you're kind of pulling everything. So let's get to the gear straight away and what you need. Basically, this build is viable for Season 1 at the moment. Once Season 1 is over, the Legendary Shield will be available for everyone. So at the moment, for anyone that's not a seasonal character, it's not available. You will need this shield. It only drops in seasons. So once Season 1 is announced by Diablo, by Blizzard, then this will be available. And basically what you're looking for is obviously cooldown reduction. It plays a significant part in this whole build, but you need this shield and you need Blades of Prophecy. Again, it means that Condemn enemies also trigger a Condemn explosion, so it adds more damage. If you can get cooldown on it, it's extremely important. Something with my build, I have cooldown reduction 55%. I really need 56%. The reason being is for Akkhans champion to be up 100% of the time without using a Leoric's helmet. So I don't have the Leoric's helmet. I do have one, but it's pretty crap. But I can do what I need to do with a Akkhans set. So you need to have the Akkhans set. So if you don't have the 6-piece, you can use a Royal Ring. Preferably one that has cooldown on it. I'm not using that at the moment because I don't need it. So kind of basic things. There is not really anything that you're going to look for with the boots, just the standard kind of stuff like strength, fight, or resist, because you're not really going to get much or resist in this, movement speed, and a secondary resist. So I do definitely need an upgrade with these boots. The pants, yeah, you're looking again vitality, strength, and or resist. With the chest piece, you want to look at getting Condemn on there for the extra damage booster. You can get it also on the shoulders. I don't have that. In fact, at the moment, All Resist is playing an important role when I was trying to do higher, greater risk. But for T6, it's probably better. I haven't been fortunate enough to get something that I can actually roll that. So this will do at the moment. The helm, just, if you got a Leoric's, just use the Leoric's. It's just going to make it easier to get that buffer of cooldown reduction. And the same thing with the gloves, just make sure you have cooldown on there. Another important one is to get cooldown is the belt. Definitely important to get. Now, all the other items are pretty much optional. I think the easiest bracer that you can get is the Reaper's Wraps. And the reason being is because you can craft them. For T6, every time you're touching a health globe, you're just getting replenished. So, again, you're looking for something with Holy and Crit. The bracer, sorry, not the bracer, the amulet, you're looking for anything with Holy, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and cooldown. I'm not going to invest in getting a Hellfire ring, but you can do that. Definitely will help the build, especially when you're looking at passive bonuses. So let's look at the ring. So I'm doing this solo, so if you're doing it in groups, as I said before, you probably wouldn't use the Unity combo because there's no use. So this is where you could swap with a Royal Ring or another different type of ring, but in my case I'm using it as a solo thing. So I've got a Unity and then I've got the Stone of Jordan. Unfortunately, my Stone of Jordan is fire skill, which I wish it was Holy, because it did actually roll a cooldown reduction, so I have to have it, and I re-rolled the stat for for a socket. So, you know, it's kind of, you got to do with what items you have. So let's go look at the legendary gems. As you can see, is the lightning one. This is really good. It kind of just kills everything around. It's a damage booster, and also it's a movement speed increase. So it's kind of best of both worlds once you get rank 25. Probably the crucial one is the smite gem. This one's definitely important. This kind of procs with your condemn and so on like that. So it's great. Damage booster, procs with holy because you're using holy skills. And the third item, well, it's up to you the way in which you play. T6 definitely Bane of Powerful. You're pretty much going to have that up and running the whole time, with the extra damage booster with elite mobs, which really helps. With greater rifts, when you're starting to get to the harder ones, I'm not a fan of Bane of Powerful because the enemy that takes the longest to kill is the Rift Guardian, and you will not have, it will take longer than 56 seconds, so you lose that 20% damage increase. The substitute, well, it's very hard to kind of pick. It's, you know, I've been using this one. It's okay, but it's not the best. I even used this one just to get the 10% increase. Again, I didn't feel that it kind of made it better, but it's a constant damage booster to the Rift Guardian, and when you're considering that it might take, you know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, Bane of the Powerful becomes useless with 20%. So that's kind of up to you if you want to stick with it on the higher grade of rifts. But again, this build's probably more great for group play, in my opinion. But all you have to do is swap the Unity for like a Roaring and then put a good Leorix on. So that's the gear. The skills, I use Slash Zeal. Not only is it holy, it also gives you attack speed, so that's kind of great, increasing your damage. I use Provoke Charge Up just because you're using Wrath a lot and it kind of just brings it up for you. Condemn, well, basically there's two condemns you can use. Vacuum, which doesn't instantly hit, it's like kind of a time duration, but the whole purpose of this build is to pull the enemies in. So I mean, if you're not using Vacuum and you're using Unleash, you defeat the whole purpose of synergizing in a group and pulling the enemies in. So it's really up to you. I think Vacuum is crucial, but you can use Unleash, which explodes instantly. So it's up to your kind of game style, but I prefer the benefit in a group to pull the mobs in. Steed Charge just for an endurance, just to move around, you know, self-explanatory. Laws of Valor, again, this is, I'm using just critical just for the 100% damage increase. It makes a big difference, especially where I'm lacking sometimes with damage. But if you're looking for survivability, you're probably looking for something Laws of Justice, which will give you increased resistance. And if you get something like Decaying Strength, you get more resistance, and that actually contributes in a group, so it helps immensely. So that's a great substitute as well. And when you have the passive Long Arm of the Law, it increases it by 5 seconds more, so that's great as well. Akkhans Champion, I guess the Prophet Holy is essential just because of the armor increase, so the defensive aspect. So passive, you know, Heavenly Strength as usual when you're operating two-handed weapon and a shield. I use Holy Cause just for damage increase. I explained Long Arm of the Law just to increase the law ability, and Finery because it gives you more damage with the strength, with the gems that you have socketed. Now something you can mix up, because if you look at my All Resist, it's quite pathetic, but then again T6 you don't really need much. You could change these socketed gems into All Resist if you're doing greater rifts, and it does help a bit, but that's really entirely up to yourself. And again, I need that 1% more. Unfortunately, this is costing me 10 million gold. Gold to re-roll. So trying to get that 1 extra percent is which will probably get me up to that 56%, hopefully. is very hard and very expensive at the moment for myself. So the last thing I show you before I show some gameplay is obviously paragon points. Again, this is really up to you. The first thing that you're probably looking at is movement speed, then RAF, because you're pretty much spamming that. I've put vitality, and I think I've only put vitality because I was doing greater rifts just to get my legendary gems up to level 25, but in all honesty I could probably take all of vitality off and put it on strength. So then when we look at offense, cooldown reduction, definitely that's the first thing. And then what you probably want to be looking at is your 1 to 10% ratio, with, you know, more importantly, I think you'll probably need the crit hit damage and the crit hit chance after, and then obviously attack speed at the end if you can spare some points. Defensive, well, this is really entirely up to you. Again, I'm using life just because I've got Vite and a bit of Vite in there to just boost that up. But if I wasn't really using Vite and had like too much vitality, I'd probably remove that off and put it all in armor. Definitely 100% the first thing that you're going to put is all resist, because that's what you're going to use it, and life regen. So in my case, I'm using life just because that's how my style of playing, but life will probably be the last thing that you would invest in. This one I'm using resource cost reduction. Simple, because if it costs me less to use condemn, that means I can spam it a little bit more. I'm putting life on hit just for that, and area damage does play an important role. In fact, I probably should have put more or full on area damage, but it's up to you. And gold fine, yeah, well, that's pretty much useless, so it doesn't really make a difference. And I'm using the all resist. So let's check this out. You'll just see me spamming condemn pretty much, and trying to keep accurate champion up, and then the Law of Valor, and once the cooldowns come. It's a pretty fun build. It really contributes in a group. Give it a try if you have the gear. And it's something different from the Steed Charge, but in my opinion, I think the Steed Charge is definitely more better in regards to greater rifts. So what you want to do is pretty much spam the condemn, pop the, make sure that accurate champion's up, and only on elites. Let's find an elite here. Okay, here, let's kill this guy. He shouldn't be too hard anyway. And I try to like attack this guy and keep up my slash up. And it's pretty good. Like, you look how everything gets mowed down. I've got Bane of the Powerful up now, so I'm getting a booster. And it's pretty good for, you know, XP farming within a group. It contributes. See how the mobs are all getting pulled in. It's definitely something that if you play group, do this build, it helps out, you know, significantly. One thing you need to know is with this build, if you're using vacuum, if you use vacuum, it gets you out of the endurance animation. So don't use Steed Charge and then without spamming condemn first, because otherwise you're going to get out of that animation. But you'll get used to it when you're playing it. This is actually pretty bad, this map, in regards to, I was expecting more elites, and I haven't probably come across. Here we go. There we go. And see how quick the elite went down. I think something that if you need gold and you got, let's go here. You've got the Bane of Powerful. This could also be really good. It's just a great way of just farming kind of little things here and there, whether you're doing normal rifts or so on like that. So it's a pretty fun build too. It's not much effort. I don't think it's very hard. And getting the Leorics makes it much easier to get the cooldown breakpoint that you need. So guys, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you're a Google member, give us a +1, because that really helps. Thanks for watching, you know, and have some fun playing D3. Cheers, mate.